Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Fake News Breakdown, courtesy of the DePaul Internet Literacy Initiative. I'm your host, Brandon Peterson, and I'm excited to get started. So this week we have my personal favorite story to date, which is as follows. NASA will pay you $18,000 to stay in bed and smoke weed for 70 straight days. This story sounds a little ridiculous off the bat, but it's actually had some pretty decent and long-term traction on the internet. And I came across the story again on Facebook, on my Facebook, and just to show you the sheer breadth of this story, we've got a lot of stories. NASA will pay you $18,000, all up through here, all from about a month or 3 months ago, or within that similar time frame. Some of these are much sooner, like let's see, 3 weeks ago. But in any case, this is a pretty protracted rumor, and I want to break it down for you guys this week. So let's start with the article itself. As you remember, we have a couple of things to look for when it comes to fake news. Number one, is there an author? Two, who published the story? Three, what is the evidence? And four, who does this information affect? So without further ado, let's jump on in. Who published the story? Well, Soul Exchange up here at the top appears to be, if we open this up in a new tab, a shoe website, a website dedicated to the latest in shoes. Curtis Thunder, as seen here, seems to be one of the primary authors, but it's a pretty specific angle, it looks like. So, which leads us to ask, why are they talking about NASA and weed? That's a great question, and I really don't know. Let's look at the author next. I'm not sure if you guys can see this. I'll zoom in for a second here, but the author of this story is a Mr. Hypebeast. All right, so that's probably a nickname and not ultra encouraging off the bat. But let's just see what the story has in store for us. So this says right here in this paragraph down below, NASA's put out an ad for people willing to participate in rest studies, 70 straight days, relaxing in bed, $18,000 for $1,200 a week. Now, first thing off the bat to take note here is that there really isn't any attribution or hyperlinks or anything that's directing us from their source. We're kind of expected to just take the writers or whoever it is word for this story. And the pictures, this is a excerpt from a movie with Dave Chappelle. And it does kind of break down like the rest of the story and kind of give us a lot of details. But the question is, where is this information coming from? Now, PunditFed actually did a breakdown on this earlier this week. The persistent story / lie that NASA is paying people to smoke weed. And the story goes on to say like that basically this story is somewhat rooted in truth. Right here it says that NASA does perform bed rest studies. The goal is to examine the potential effects of weightlessness on astronauts and lying in bed, and et cetera, et cetera. Weed was never part of that story. And it's not clear where exactly that became the rumor, but that is the point at which it became fake news. So as we go again through our checklist, is there an author? Yes, his name is Mr. Hypebeast, probably not a real person. Who published the story? A shoe website. What is the evidence? There is none. And who does the story affect? Well, really no one in particular, unless like you're really passionate about smoking weed for NASA. But we can kind of see, if we're going through this list here, that the story seems to be copied almost verbatim for several different outlets. And if I zoom in here for a second, you can see the names of some of these outlets, like the famous viralstories.com, longlivehelptip.online, few unknown facts, now77news.com. A lot of these websites that seem to be just trawling for traffic. And so it's entirely possible that this shoe website, which could be run by a single person about shoes, was just looking for traffic, picked up this story and did getting his traffic, but it was at the cost of not being real. And so that's about all I got for you guys today. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you on the other side.